Okay there, Gemini. It is time for your February, oh, there we go, clarifying there. February 2021 monthly reading. I'm Michelle B, and I create tarot readings for passionate women, feminine individuals who like to live a life of exciting purpose, abundant prosperity, and beautiful, wonderful, romantic love, first with yourself and then with somebody else if that's what you desire. I give this disclaimer every time for those of you who are not subscribed. And those of you who are already know this, thank you very much for subscribing. So, the monthly reading. What I want to start out with first is what to embrace and then what to leave behind going forward in the month. And then I'm going to get a look at that triad of awesomeness that I mentioned: purpose, prosperity, and love. These are my three favorite subjects, and so that's what I like to really focus on when we're going forward. It all seems to interconnect, and like I love the way it all plays out. I like the way these readings play out this way, doing it this way on a monthly basis, and I kind of tried to interconnect that what to embrace and what to leave behind with that purpose, prosperity, and love, and it just that way it all ties in together like a big story on how to focus your energy going forward. And so that I just do a brief overview in this reading, and then if you want to go deeper into the comprehensive, I think I do a pretty good job giving you a pretty clear idea on what to keep in mind in this reading alone. But if you want to go deeper, in the description box below, there'll be a link to the deeper reading, the comprehensive reading, which is going to be another 20-25 minutes on Vimeo, if you're interested in doing that. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's look for Gemini, what to embrace going forward in the next month. That one wanted to come out. Oh, so the Hermit came out. This is a very mercurial energy. That not meaning fast, but like it's all about the intellect and the communication. And the Hermit is the card of Virgo. So it's just like trying to figure out what the truth is, right? So with Mercury being in retrograde, coming up for most of the month of February, that's your ruling planet, Gemini, you're going inward. I definitely see that. Going inward to find out what your own truth is. What really is most important to you. You're really giving this a lot of thought. And that's okay, because we all need that, right? Especially if your communication isn't so great with other people right now, you're not coming off the way that you want to, it will really like feel a lot better for you to just like take some time for yourself and figure out what's most meaningful, what's most important for you in this month. So let's see for Geminis what to leave behind. What to leave behind for Geminis this month. I'm not taking all those. Really, I want to. So this is like different aspects of Gemini, because we got the Lovers, which is, it's about you. The Lovers is about Gemini. But also there's this like aggressive communication. Leaving behind, feeling like you have to set people straight, especially when it comes to what they think of you. Because really, when we're interacting with people, we're looking at mirrors of ourselves. So if we're interacting with someone and they, like, what we feel when we're interacting with them does not feel good, then that's something about ourselves that we're very uncomfortable with. So keep that in mind. If somebody's getting on your nerves in the coming month, remember to chill out in the way that you talk to them. Remember, communication gets wonky when Mercury is in retrograde, and this is your ruling planet. It's kind of being out of your element. So once again, this is a time to not really focus on what other people are doing, what other people are thinking of you, what other people are saying about you. It's really a time for Gemini to just be focusing on them and what's true for them and what's meaningful for them. And that might come as like the surrendering Not necessarily surrendering a connection with somebody else, but surrendering what you think the connection with someone else is all about. Allowing yourself not to really know or like fully understand what's going on with that. So what to leave behind or what to embrace is it's okay to do things on your own for a little while. What to leave behind is it's okay to not be so focused on other people, and it's okay to not tell people how you feel all the time. You don't have to tell people what you think all the time. Okay, let's go ahead and go over to this triad of awesomeness that I mentioned. We're going to get a look at first the purpose, then the prosperity, and then the love, and find out what messages we have. So there's another sword when it comes to your purpose. This is how you are in the world, how you live in the world, right? How you present your gifts to the rest of the world, how you connect with your community. This is stuff that makes you feel good about yourself in spite of the money. Like it's not all about the money, or it's not about what you can get from somebody in a relationship, like an immediate intimate relationship. This is the bigger picture for you. But what to keep in mind for the month of February when it comes to those aspects that I just mentioned is that remember once again that communication's kind of wonky. The swords are all about what we think and what we say. And so with Mercury, your ruling planet, being in retrograde, it's like remember that you're being reminded that you have to be very, very careful with what it is that you're thinking and what it is that you're saying out loud. Make sure and get really, really clear. Remember we talked about the lovers here? Make sure and get really, really clear on what's you and your issues and what they're doing and how it's affecting you. Now, if they're doing something that's affecting you in a negative way, if another person, by they, I mean, if another person is doing things that is really affecting you in a negative manner, then you need to find a way to communicate that in a balanced, queenly manner, in a royal manner, right? You're not like coming in and attacking them. That's just a warning. Be careful not to attack people. Be careful not to be too aggressive, verbally aggressive when you're talking to people. So that's the defiant. It's, as feminines, we're like we got two different imbalances. On one end of the spectrum, we have the defiant, the bitch, right? The one that's like, I don't care what you have to say or what you think. I'm going to tell you what I think, right? And then there's the compliant on the other end of the spectrum that will just keep their mouth shut and go along with the program, and they don't want to rock anybody's boat, even if there's something that's really bothering them, right? So I get the sense that in the month of February, something's going to be kind of bugging you, Gemini, and you're like, should I say something about it or should I not? The leaning that the cards are putting out is maybe not, until you get really clear on why you even want to say something about it. Why is it that this is so important to you? Is this a serious boundary that you have that's like really meaningful to you? Then by all means, say what you need to say in a respectful manner. But if this is just about something that they're doing that's bugging you, then lay off of even really saying anything about it. If you need to, though, it's absolutely your right, Gemini, to take space. It is your right to have as much space as you need to. You just can't bother other people with stuff that you can't, that it's really your problem and not theirs, Okay, so anything else for the comprehensive reading that Gemini needs to know when it comes to the purpose? Let's get a little sneak peek about what we're going to be going into. And this is also like clarifying that Ace of Swords in reverse. We have the King of Wands in reverse. This is like, if there are some of you that have a connection with a Sagittarius or any other fire sign, Leo or Aries, it doesn't have to be those particular signs. There's something coming up about that. There's the Knight of Pentacles. We have two knights so far. We have the Knight of Swords and we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is in reverse. This is about some slow moving progress when it comes to communicating with other people. I know how much you love to socialize, Gemini, how much you love to talk to other people. But for some reason, it's just like I said, you're not really feeling fully in your element. Things aren't right. Things aren't sitting right with you right now. You're spending a lot of time in introspection. So like the social spheres that you're running in that create that purpose that you have, they're not very fruitful at this time. And that's okay, because there's times to take it easy and be introspective, and there's times to be social and get out and talk to people and have great interactions with them. It all runs in seasons, and that's perfectly okay. All right, but I'm going to go in deeper into those guys and talk about that more when we get into the comprehensive later. But next I'm going to go on to the prosperity. Oh wait, I don't want to use this deck for that. That's why nothing just fell out. I accidentally knocked over my other deck just now. Okay, here we go. This is the deck that I want to use. My Art Nouveau Rider-Waite. Let's see. Any volunteers for Gemini for their prosperity? There they are. So we got the Emperor. What else? The Four of Cups. Yeah, just like this antsy, itchy feeling when it comes to your money. Not being satisfied with what it is that you got. And some of you might be waiting on the man. Some of you, I mean, wait, that happens all the time, so that's not any new stuff. We're like waiting for our tax returns. We're waiting for find out what's going on with us with that stimulus, for those of us who, and I'm including myself in that, for those of us who like still haven't seen a penny. Those of us who are like waiting to get called back to work, like all of that's happening. It's just like this itchy, anxious feeling that Gemini is kind of sitting in. How's Gemini going to get out of that though? Well, it's talking about being patient. And I just did an Instagram post today about the star, describing the tarot card of the star. Any other messages, please? Like taking a little sneak peek. Yeah. This is just a little sneak peek here, but I'm going to like start talking about it a little bit. I'm going to be dovetailing into it when I'm just like the thought of that that write-up that I did, the inspiration that I had about it was about creating hope before there's a reason to be hopeful. That you can attract the vibration of hope to you by feeling hope, by feeling positive, by feeling happy. Be happy for your abundance before it even shows up. Before you have proof of it. It's like, here's the proof. It's not going to show up until you change your attitude. Now let's get a look at this guy, the Four of Cups guy. He's a little bit of a stinker, right? He's already got 3 cups of love, 3 emotional cups, or like say 3 cups of all the good stuff in front of him. And he's looking at them and going, that's stupid. That's not even enough. And meanwhile, the universe is like, well, I'll give you more, but you gotta start improving your attitude, right? The universe is like, here's a cup, and he's just like looking down, not even paying attention, being crappy about the cups that he has already, about the abundance that he has already. So whatever it takes, Gemini, in this month ahead, for you to feel, get all of your chakras aligned and get to that positive vibration of inspiration and excitement and hope. Anything you can do to get yourself to that vibration is going to start attracting that abundance. It's going to start attracting something to be excited about. You'll prove to yourself that you have something to be excited about when you're already carrying that energy, even if you don't have proof about it right now. So let's just get a couple more clarification cards for that as a sneak peek about what I'm going to talk about. That one, Queen of Swords, it's about making decisions and the Ace of Wands in reverse. So let's see, we have now 3 aces. Swords, Wands, and Pentacles. They were all in reverse. So there's a little bit of a bottleneck happening in February. I think it all is pivoting on your attitude of gratitude. You can change this. You can turn this month around. We'll find out more about how to do that as we go into that comprehensive reading. And finally, let's look at the LUV prospects. Ew. Ew. The Tower. The Tower looks like disaster to some people. But really what it is that it's a desire for change that you have in your heart. Something that you want that's like, you're like, I need something better. I feel like this really dovetails with like the release of how you see a relationship, how you see a connection. Some of you might be in committed relationships and things are going to go just fine. I'm going to find out more, right? But for a lot of Geminis, they're experiencing this feeling of some kind of a disaster. And this is not necessarily projecting that there will be a disaster in the future, but there's this like feeling of, let me clarify this a little bit more. What happens is we want a change to happen, but we don't know how to make the change happen ourselves. What we do is we ask the universe to do something about it, and the universe is just like, okay, I'll take that away from you. And it ends up looking like a disaster. Like I got in a car accident because I was telling the universe I was tired of running around so much. So I got in a car accident. I didn't have a car. I couldn't run around so much. The universe is like, okay, here you go. You get what you want, right? You asked for something that you didn't like to change, and it changed. And you didn't like how it changed. It was not a pleasant experience for you. Well, not a happy one. Let's get some clarification on that, or see if there's any other storylines for Geminis that are like not having a disaster or a meltdown in their relationship. This is about this 7 of Pentacles is about being patient, taking your time, not working hard on it. It's like, it's not necessarily a good time for relationships right now. You guys are not the only ones that are experiencing having to be patient and wait for the excitement and the fun when it comes to relationships. And it's really about, like I said, about being introspective into what is true for you, and not letting the behaviors of other people get on your nerves so much. Not taking what other people do personally. So we're keeping all of this in mind as we're going along, and just really remembering to be patient with our partners, so that we don't create a disaster with our partners if we're in relationships that we're happy to be in. But when it comes to your own self-love, everyone's always got more work to do, so it's okay. Anything else that Gemini needs to know? The King of Wands. Did we have a king? We had a King of Wands in reverse over here. We had a King of Wands in reverse over here. Okay? Some of you are definitely dealing with a fire sign, and there's some wonky stuff happening with that. If you want to find out more, hit me up over at the Comprehensive. I'm gonna leave this reading here. Make sure and subscribe, Gemini, if you want to have access to my readings on a regular basis. And yeah, the link to the comprehensive video for this, going a little bit deeper, it goes to 25 minutes or so. It's in the Vimeo. It's a Vimeo link in the description box below this video. Okay? Yeah, and if this is where we leave it off, this is enough information for you, Gemini. I love you. You're gonna be fine. Just take some space to yourself. Think about what's most important to you. Think about how to be happy. Keep that attitude of gratitude, okay? Love you, Gemini. I'll see you later.